Good morning, everyone. It's Dr. Kathy, and it is the 9th of June. Something popped into my head. I was going to say something about my grandfather, and he's here. He died when he said he didn't die. He transitioned when I was maybe 17, and I never knew him well. He was the general. He was a major general in the Air Force. I don't know exactly why he's come in. He said Spiritual Lovefare. He was a general in the Air Force during World War II. He managed all of the maintenance and logistics in the Air Force during World War II. Well, Grandpa, hi. This is interesting. He died in 69. He's talking about what he has learned on the other side in regards to spiritual lovefare, because he was involved in World War I, World War II, and Korea. This is fascinating. He wants us to know that there are millions of souls who were in battle, who believed that the way to come to peace was through war, which meant controlling, overcoming, and suppressing. And what he has learned, and they have all learned, is that peace is not formed in that way. He's saying that even in the family, to not battle is control, is to not battle. I think I'm going to get to talk to him some. That's really pretty cool. But that's all, Grandpa. We got to go into our other thing. I really thank you. Can I talk to you later? He says, yes, it's time. That's interesting. So thank y'all for that. And now Amma comes in, and she's telling me that he is part of the white brotherhood. She said you could call it siblinghood. The white brotherhood, siblinghood, is larger than what we actually know. And he has been doing a lot of work in revamping war and moving it from conflict to what we need to do from out of the heart. So thank you for that, Amma. I appreciate that. And now Amma says, heart source. Bring your awareness to the heart chakra, which is in the center of your chest. Go deep within. She says, go deeper this time. Ask to become aware of the golden structure within your physical heart. Good. And now move around into the back and go into the back of your heart chakra. Somebody's a little bit too low. If you find yourself having a hard time to get in the back of your heart chakra, just roam around. That's what I call it, roaming around, until you feel yourself go in. Most people, when they don't quite get into the back of their heart chakra, they're actually too low. Up a little bit. There we go. Somebody, whoever that was. And I don't know whether it's on the live call or somebody outside of time who is asking to be there. Go deep within. And Amma is saying, ask to feel, see, sense, know of the angel with the sword of Michael's band, who is guarding the back of your heart chakra, your sacred space, because that is well guarded. You can greet that angel and move deep within. Enter into your sacred space, this huge, expansive, really infinite size, because we can go anywhere in there. Here we go. She's saying, remember, from your sacred space, you can travel through your blood system, your lymphatic system, and you can go to other planets and galaxies. You can even ask to be taken to some of the starships that are out there in the Galactic Command, the Ashtar Command. It's actually, they're going, not that what Amma has been teaching us isn't mystical, but it's almost like they're going more expansively in this. Good. Now to the front of your third eye. Ask to be shown the violet flame which is resting in there. And Saint Germain just laughed, says the violet flame never rests. It is always active. New thing to do. They said, connect the golden structure within your heart with the violet flame. Just the two structures that are there, and feel what happens, see, sense, know. Those of you who can't feel can come to know. I'm mainly, believe it or not, clairsentient and claircognizant, feeling and knowing. Sometimes the clairaudience and the clairvoyance comes in. There you go, into the back of the third eye. Again, people seem to go a little bit too low in trying to get in. Just lift your awareness. There you go. Good. And now, this time, ask for and see a beam of energy go from your heart chakra to your third eye, and notice what color it is. Again, see, sense, feel, know, and send that beam of energy straight up to the center of the universe, straight down into the center of the earth. Heart source, expand to the furthest reaches of my aura and keep it expanding. Whenever my aura expands, there you go. Amma is telling me that she said that we are in the womb, her womb. Abba has said we are in his heart, and we are, she says, you are in the womb. And yes, it can look like a heart. She wants you to focus on your heart and feel your heartbeat. And she is joining her heartbeat with your heartbeat. And she says, of course, her heartbeat is metaphorical, but it is joining with your heartbeat. Breathe into your heart. And for those of you who are thinking that you're developing the heart source and that you've listened to this for the first time, the heart source, this is much more than the heart source. It's taking us through many different ways to explore this. Now say, I am the sword. Okay, there's my grandfather again. And he has the sword of Archangel Michael. And the whole group, because of my grandfather, I got to know some military men that were in, that you read about in history books. One of them is General Opie Wyland, and Opie is there with my grandfather, and he also has the sword of Michael. And there are a whole group of military men from all eras and ages. I see some samurai, and they have the sword of Michael in their hands. I see them from all countries. They all have the sword of Michael in their hand. Experience the sword. If you've never received the sword, those of you who are listening on YouTube, if you've never experience the sword, simply call upon Archangel Michael, hold out your dominant hand. If you're ambidextrous, it doesn't matter which hand you have. That was from Michael. And ask if you may have his sword. And again, I feel it coming into my hand, the hilt of the sword. Hold it against your heart, straight up, point straight up, the sword straight up, the blade straight up, and place it within your heart. And know that the sword, this is information I'm receiving now, know that the sword, the energy of the sword goes throughout your body. And actually, I've not seen this, but at least today, and maybe it's always, each cell anywhere within your body has the sword within it. And Archangel Michael is saying you could even imagine the double helix that are in your nerves, not your nerves, in your cells, and imagine the sword just going straight through with the double helixes around it. There you go. And now say, I am the sword, and feel the power or know it. Just know that it is there. Whether you see, sense, feel it, or just know it. It is there. Your energy is expanding. Good. And now, violet flame, right there in the back part of the front of your third eye. Violet flame activate on the outer layers of my aura. And we are all being asked right now to go down that connection that we formed, the one that goes up to the center of the universe, the one that goes all the way down to the center of the earth. Follow that connection. You can choose to follow it by going from your heart up, the third eye up, or starting at the very top and moving all the way down, or going down first. It doesn't matter. Just notice. Good. In our healing lecture room, there's a floor of light below us, a canopy of light above us. There are pillars of light in the corner, and surrounding our healing lecture room, from pillar to pillar to pillar to pillar, are angels. There are some archangels that are in that with members of their band surrounding us. And again, my grandfather, who those of you who may come in late, is I never have really talked to him before. He died when I was 17, and I didn't really know him. And he has suddenly appeared, and he is in his Air Force Major General uniform with a sword of light from Michael the Archangel. And he is saying, no, K-N-O-W, all of those spiritual beings that you feel, see, sense are surrounding you, and even more. And he is saying, even more, come when you offer a prayer and intention, when you need an assistance, and they come according to your need. They are there. Good. And there's a central pillar in our healing lecture room. I've adapted this, we didn't call it the healing lecture room, but from the Melchizedek method. And I thank Alton Camadon, who is on the other side now, for this beautiful gift. Ask to feel yourself in the middle of this healing lecture room, surrounded by more beings than you could count, who are there to assist, because every one of you who are here, and remember, even if you're listening to it after this, after the live presentation, you are still here as this occurs in the space of no space and in the time of no time. And you are here, even if you just came to check this out and to see if it means anything to you, and it doesn't seem to mean anything to you, you are still here. You stumbled into something that is now going to affect you. And it is the activation of the energies of love within you that are held in the encodements. There you go. And for our healing ceremony today, by the way, there are lots of beings in the central pillar. Usually I go through the ones I see, but I'm being asked to go on. Just know that anyone that you wish to ask is there in the central pillar, giving assistance and strength to us. And each one of you are asked to bring in one more or more people that you are aware of by name, or you have seen their image in some way, who are suffering, You bring them into the group. And this can be suffering mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And from your heart, this is a prayer that you could say, this is the one that's coming to me from me. And you could be saying the same way prayer or something similar. Amma and Abba, I ask you to work through me to be able to relieve the suffering of the ones that I have in mind. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if it's even in their highest plan. But I do ask you, as much as is possible, that suffering can be released and love fills them. And now hold your arms out, just recognizing that they're there. And you are sending that love. And Amma, actually Hilarion, who is the Chohan of the fifth ray of healing, has come in and he says, bring energy in from above and below. You have that by being anchored in your heart source. And send that energy out through your hands. And send it outwards again without attachment and with love. And if you know they're suffering greatly, you can say, I don't know their life path, but I ask, if possible, please, that their suffering be reduced. Here we go. Now you're going to continue sending that energy out because you just got it started. The things about a siphon, when you pull it and get it started, priming the pump, we've primed the pump, and that is going to keep coming through us and out of us to the ones that we are working with. And now set your intention for yourself. Usually, Amma takes us through healing of ourselves and then to the someone else's. And this time, she had us to send that energy through us. And now for yourself, it's still going to be coming out from you. We've already primed the pump, as it were. And the energy is flowing through. Now direct other energy, which is coming through you to yourself. Now, I read this the other day from somewhere, and I can't even remember where it was, but it was something to the effect that many times we have no choice because it's in our life path to experience pain. But suffering is always a choice. And what I'm hearing is suffering is an attachment to what is happening or a battle against what is happening. What are you choosing to suffer over? In other words, what makes the pain, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual pain, worse because you are battling against it? Well, I just got an answer to something I've been struggling with. Have I been battling against it for probably 60 to 65 years of my life, something that happened in childhood. And they're telling me the battle against it that I am doing is I'm trying to make it not happen. And of course, it's already in the past. Acceptance. And no matter what it was, accept that the person, especially if it was familial, accept that the person who was what you might call a perpetrator or the one who dealt the difficulty loved as much as they could. And Amma showing me the metaphor that I often used with clients is that if you had a thimble full of water, 100% full, and you had a gallon jug of water, 100% full, they were both 100% full. Quantity is different. But when a person only has a thimble full of capability to love and uses that entire thimbleful, they've given you all they can. Hopefully it grows, but that's not your choice. What is it that you are suffering from? Even if you're not real sure what I mean by that, ask your healing team. Go to the wound that I am suffering from, whether it's this lifetime or another lifetime. Healing team, remove all artificial encodements that have me holding on to that suffering, that attachment to suffering. Repair the damaged and altered natural encodements which have me holding on to that attachment to suffering. Healing team, whenever this wound occurred, which was like the root cause of the suffering, whether it be suffering for myself or someone that I am holding in my heart and in my mind, I ask that wound be healed. That wound be healed. Fill me, fill my friends, my family, whoever I'm holding in my mind with love. And I ask that the past no longer govern me unless it is a past of blessings and love. May only the wisdom I have gathered, the joy, the happiness that was in whatever event, may that fill me, as I have no need for the suffering of the past. And somebody's saying this and they're laughing. I think it's Kuan Yin. I have no need of the suffering of the past, and I have no need of attachment to the past. And she's just laughing out of joy because we do not need that. There we go. And if you wish to do so today, speak to whether it's Amma or Abba or what name you use for your higher power, or if it's your healing team or your soul self or a special saint or master you work with, and ask, please assist me in recognizing where I am choosing to suffer with the pain that I have, and assist me in releasing me from that suffering. And thank you, Amma and Abba. Thank you, love itself, all that is. And now Amma says, pull up a chair in your lecture room. Make it comfortable. I have in my hand, let's see, I can't get it in there. Anyway, I have in my hand that I'm raising up that, you can barely see it now, but it's my mug of tea. I'm a tea drinker, not a coffee drinker. Like the way it smells, can't stand the way it tastes. Be there with your coffee, your tea, your water, your juice, whatever it is. And be in your comfortable place. And what Amma is telling me, that from the healing lecture room, she is now on a dais right there in front of us. She said, I don't really need to be higher so you can hear me or see me, because I am within you and surrounding you. And the next one you hear will be Amma. Oh, my precious ones, we are going to talk about something we have not talked about in a while. It was introduced at the very beginning, as this one was saying she was talking really for the first time since he left the earth plane, her grandfather, the Major General, and what he has learned about war and battles and love and Michael's sword. But we're going to say that he introduced the topic really of spiritual lovefare. It is time to talk about that more. Spiritual lovefare. Many of you have heard our discussion on it, of what happened with this one, because she would always hear from her tradition, her Christian tradition, spiritual warfare, a battle against evil. Evil begets evil, and battle begets battle, not peace. Warfare. I had her go look it up. Where does the words come from? War and fair. War is Germanic in meaning, which means conflict, and fair, the ancient English or archaic English, which means journey. You're used to fare as in car fare, subway fare, plane fare, of paying for that journey. Journeys of conflict, even if you call it spiritual, does nothing to bring peace. Journeys of lovefare, that is the beginning of peace. Do you wish to overcome the conflict that is up on this planet? It's everywhere, is it not? You find it on the very smallest of governmental structures, what some of you call your HOAs. This was reading about it. This one was reading about it. Something happening to someone, of people getting in a power struggle and wanting to exercise that power over someone. I challenge you to exorcise the power over someone that you believe you have, and instead bring in power with someone. Power with. To join together and the power that each one is created with. Because the Creator shared creative power with you, not over you, with you. It is hard to believe for many of you that you have power with you, because coming into touch with the fact that you created your life plan, power with your counsel, with your soul self, that you made the plan that is happening in your life now. Some of you are coming close to the end of this incarnation, and you struggle with, how could I have planned something that has been so difficult? By the way, that's suffering. The pain is there. but the suffering that you have toward yourself, of you being the instigator, maybe if you did plan this, of what in heaven's name? I wonder if you used heaven's name. Why did I choose this? You say, no, I didn't choose this. You wonder, what is it that you did choose? The choices that you made in this lifetime from your plan, you built into your plan choices. If this happens to me, then I am given these choices. I now have them in front of me. If my parents were abusive, or they didn't want me, or they didn't accept me, I have these choices in front of me. It all happens on a subconscious level. And your choice could be to become angry and resentful. You could choose not to care about yourself because they did not care about you. Or you could have a choice to prove to them that you are worthy of their love, or were worthy if they would only pay attention. Or a third choice, and there are infinite choices you can make. A third choice could be, you did not love me, but I choose to love myself and be the best that I can be. And then whichever choice it is that you make, that determines what happens next in your plan, because you could then make the choice of other choices. And that's what happens. It's like the if then. Those of you who program computers know about that. Lovefare, making a journey of love, comes to the point of when you make that choice to exercise love within your life, and how it is you are going to be love to yourself, to others. And those others include people around you. It includes the planet. And you could even say those others include your relationship with God, with spirit, with all that is. Lovefare is what you use when standing with someone against injustice. Not doing it through hostility. Oh, anger is okay if it is used to move you forward in truth and protection, not when it is used to destroy. Release the anger within you, the anger that you hold on to, that you protect yourself with, because that anger does not protect you. It puts a wall around your heart. And long-term anger is not helpful. Long-term anger, it's about loss, and it is about defense. Mixed up in all of these things that you chose to experience in this life is the befuddlement, the confusion about what happens and how do you manage. If you accept that, yes, okay, I'm going to cognitively accept that I planned this. How do I get out of it now? How do I get out of the pain? How do I get out of the suffering? How do I make the choice to accept what has happened and to let it go, and to go into that event and say, what have I learned? You have things that happen in this planet that can teach you, give you great wisdom. Let's take one of the major battles occurring in this planet right now, and that is in Gaza and Palestine. The battle between the nation of Israel and the nation of Palestine. As long as the leaders in those countries, whether it is an elected leader or not, as long as they are into retribution and not seeing the beauty within each person, no longer, or longer rather, what will continue is hatred and loss of mothers and fathers and grandparents and children. The only way that can change is held in the Hebrew scriptures, right? In what is called the Old Testament, which goes to all three Christian, Jewish, Muslim religions, of they shall turn their swords and their implements of war into plowshares, which means turn them into instruments of creativity and support and love. You are called to do that. Everyone was brought in a certain way, dumped into a world in which you did not truly know about love and the love of yourself and the love of others. That this planet, which has been given to you, it was given to you all to share. It was given to you to live up on and support each other, to share with each other. It was not given to you to fight over. It was given to you to work from your heart and connect heart-wise with each other. Think about yourself right now. Lovefare. What do you need to live a journey of love? What do you need to do? I know this one is saying, I need to let go of. She has things in mind. That is lovefare. I need to accept that other people have been desperately wounded and in many ways did the best they could. Even if I was victim to their best. Yes, many of you have been wounded in many different ways. That wounding ended. It could have ended when you were 8 years old. It could have ended when you were 18 years old. Could have ended when you were 25, or it could have ended when you were 80. Whenever it ended, it was over. And you can choose to let that go. But in your choice to let it go, you have to let it go. You have to just completely let it disperse. And you go to what were the blessings? What did you learn? What is the wisdom and where is the joy? If you focus on where the pain is and you suffer for that pain, you will miss the joy and the delight of the sunsets and the sunrises and the shape of the clouds and the amazing thing that happens in spring with the plants coming back to life and the song of the bird and the love that someone offers you. Even if that love is in the smile of someone that you have not known before, but you're both waiting in line to pay for your food. Even if the love that was given to you is the love from the animals and the plants that gave you their lives. It is a huge choice to make. It is your spiritual lovefare choice to be in a journey of love. And yes, each time you love, and each time you receive love, and each time you let go of something that you no longer need because it happened 60, 70 years ago, or it ended last week. Each time you release that, move into your heart source, into your heart, and ask, what of joy did I have today, yesterday? And it could be that you only see the small things first. And as you focus on those joys, the smile of children that you see in the park laughing and enjoying themselves, the beautiful flower that has fought its way up from the rocks, and that little bloom, yellow, violet, that comes out and smiles at you. In spiritual lovefare, in that journey of love, you as a being of spirit learn by teaching yourself. What am I seeing that is joy, that is love now? And you may be wandering around in the vegetable section of your grocery store and be ruminating over what has happened that you don't like and missing the joy and the love of all of those vegetables, which have said, I lived my life for you. Or to go to the meat place, the butcher shop, and you would miss the joy of the animals that say, I lived my life for you. And you may miss the friends and the family who try to do something good for you. And maybe that was the only time, but they tried then. Accept the love that comes in. You are on a difficult planet, my dear ones. The planet of dichotomies, of division. And now you have chosen, and we appreciate the choice to live from your heart. You can do that because you are love. Just scrape away everything else that is not love and let that love shine forth. My love to you, precious ones. Spiritual lovefare. The spirit of the heart will change this planet. And you are needed. I am Amma, the Divine Mother of the Divine Mothers. And oh, how I surround you and enfold you in love. This is Kathy. I'm going to have to listen to that again. I know when I'm transcribing it.
Right.
Yeah. It's
The most
amazing.
important line, Kathy. The spirit of the heart will change the planet. I like that line.